Yeah, it's your boy 2Gs and no, fuck that. I fucked that up.
It was the intonation. Man. You fucked yourself. Oh my god, bro! You fucking psyched yourself out. You came strong, and in your mind the whole time you're saying, "Nah, this is fun. This is fun." And it was like,
This is all.
motherfucker. Good tape this shit. This is our attempted intro. George
Oh
just
hell
fucked
yeah,
it up.
yeah. We got bloopers to start off the show. 2Gs in the pod, baby. Episode 16. I am your host, George, with my beloved co-host,
George.
What it do, player? Yo, you're really feeling the G Unit shit right now, but here's the thing.
Jew is sick, bro.
The Jew?
The Jew.
The Holocaust, man. Listen, man. First of all, we told y'all last episode that it would have been the
Part
finale, the part 2 of the 90s edition of 2Gs in the pod would come to a closure, but we can't because we are two guys who live and die for the 90s. We always reminisce.
Yes, sir.
We live in a basement right now that is filled with 90s shit. We have so much that we want to cover. Last episode,
Yo, bro, you have some mad acid reflux going on. Listen, just fucking burp away from the mic, bro. Just get that fucking pocket out of there.
Hey, man, I'm still out here a week later eating fucking NEAL Brothers, man. What you want me to say, bro? That's just hella hot, man.
Fuck, bro. That NEAL Brothers is posting up on
Man,
you.
fuck NEAL. I want to press charges on you.
Fuck you up, Neil.
If y'all were
And your
a
brother.
90s brand, I'm surprised you're still around today, man. But anyways, man.
By the way, George, I gotta give an amendment to the message I gave at the end of the show about Dunkaroos. Amazon.ca, they're there, but caution, man. I went back and I read those motherfucking reviews, man. People are saying they're stale as shit. So me and George are thinking they're from the motherfucking 90s. Like the factory just had a surplus.
It was the same ones
And
from
they,
Loeb.
and they said... And they said, "Fuck these Canadians. We'll give them stale,
Expired sprinkles, man.
stale
sprinkles,
expired
man.
chemicals."
So that's why you're not ordering them from Amazon.
So I paused myself right there.
Got you. So we covered on the last episode, we covered a lot about wrestling, TV shows, cartoons, Saturday mornings, TGIF. What else did we cover, man? I just want to make sure we don't go out here and do it again.
A whole bunch of shit, man. Man, we covered 15, the Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh, man. 15.
The fucking beat jacking. Yeah.
What's one thing that you were a huge collector of in the 90s?
Hands down was Pokemon cards. All y'all motherfuckers out there, if any of you say at least you didn't buy one pack, you're a fucking liar. I'll tell you right now.
So I think I never actually bought a pack. I think I just stole them from other kids at Loica.
Or that
yeah,
too.
man.
Or that. Honestly, me, I was such a Pokemon card, like a fucking collector. I used to pull heists on motherfuckers. I used to rip kids off. I would have 8 or 9 or 10 copies of a single card, and I would go and flip them for a super like rare card that all these kids didn't even know that was rare. They just said, "Oh, that card looks cooler than my card. I want that one."
Cooler than the other side of the pillow, man.
Man, I have at least 9 or 10 5-star binders full of them, and all your motherfuckers know about 5-star.
Oh my god, 5-star, bro. We're in a 90s episode and you bring shit out, and now I'm even more nostalgic. Like, why are you doing this to me, man?
All of y'all motherfuckers pulled up with a new 5-star binder every school year.
This is that DiCaprio movie, man, where it's like a dream is out of a dream right now.
Inception shit.
You're giving me an Inception feeling, but from the 90s, bro.
Man, I'll tell you right now, the 5-star binders were where they were at, and they were the first ones to zip up. They were legit. You used to fucking pack shit in them. I had about 9 or 10 binders full of every Pokemon card from every set. George, I just sold a bunch like 8 or 9 months ago.
Yeah.
And I fucking pulled in some racks, bro, for that. Just racks.
Racks on racks on
racks for that shit. And I'm shocked people would actually pay for that shit. So
let me get this straight. You had all these cards, but like you sold. Was it all to one person or to separate people? Like
it's like a
people?
website, okay?
Oh, this is online.
It's a website that buys your shit.
You didn't meet at a schoolyard or anything.
No, I didn't hustle no more kids on a schoolyard.
The playground.
Exactly.
Bro, acid reflux, huh?
Definitely. I have some hiccup shit because of this hot sauce. Fucking NEAL Brothers, man.
Sure, these NEAL pussies, man. All right, well then take a break if you have
man,
to.
I can't even. No. So, anyways, yeah, I sold like a rare set of them, like a first edition with the holographs, and I got racks for that shit, man. And it's crazy because they post all the cards that they're actually looking for, and
you had them all.
It's easy, man. You just put them in. You say, yeah, I have this one, this one, this one.
Yeah.
You package your shit, and then you mail it off, and then bro, you get a check or like a PayPal.
So tell me
Or PayPal hitting you
what
up.
were the top 5 rarest cards that you had in possession?
So the rarest card from Pokemon that I still have one left.
I think it's Mew, right? Mewtwo, maybe?
No, that's what people think. It's not. It was actually extremely common. That Pokemon was rare in the game. It's hard to get Mew, and it's a little easier to get a Mewtwo, but Mew was the hardest one.
He was like the last one, I think.
Because he's ancient. He's the first Pokemon. That's what.
Gotcha.
That's why.
Yeah.
But the rarest card, for I don't know what reason, is a first edition Charizard.
Wow.
George, look on eBay right now. You will see motherfuckers trying to sell it for $13,000.
Woo!
He's not gonna sell that shit, and no one's gonna give you that much.
Sheesh.
At most, they're probably gonna give you is 2
For a card?
for a single Charizard first edition. That shit you'll see on eBay, 8 to 13,000. It's ridiculous. It's blasphemous. By the way, whoever is trying to sell that shit, you guys are fucking hustlers. Okay, no one's gonna buy George. And at this part, you gotta be firing some bullets in the background. I'll tell you right now, and that's a hiccup right there to hit you up.
By the way, I'm just gonna have to cut you off real quick. For everyone listening right now, yes, George got the acid reflux on fleek right now. Like, this shit is on deck.
A mad fleek, okay?
Yeah, so like don't mind him for that. I can't edit this shit out, unfortunately.
Fuck, we ain't editing nothing, bro. There's no editing. There's no editing out. There's no fact checking. Nothing.
Yeah. All right. So
except for this fact. Fuck you, anyone on eBay who's trying to sell your fucking card.
individual card.
A holographic first edition Charizard, by which I have one. My cousin Matt has 2 or 3 of them. No one's giving you 13,000. No one's giving you 8,000. Fuck yourself for actually trying to hustle a person to get that much out of a fucking single card that you pulled out of your ass, out of a pack.
Yeah.
Fuck you and fuck your card.
But the person who's gonna buy that is the person.
No one's buying it.
No, but if there were a person to buy that, it would be the person who gives no shits about Pokemon cards, but is a wealthy motherfucker who inherited like millions from their parents, their grandparents, or whatever. Basically, it's the rich, filthy, spoiled white kid who got the money and he doesn't care about no 13 Gs. He'll buy it. Then what he's gonna do?
I don't even think so. I think I think it's those dudes that sit up on a computer, like the 55-year-old weird ass looking dudes, no family, they have no friends,
that are at the
that
playgrounds.
just collect cards like that, and that's what they want to spend their money
They're
on.
at the playgrounds for sure.
Man, I hope no one buys your motherfucking $8,000 or $13,000 card. So shame on you, motherfucker.
So all that, with all that being said, first edition
Charizard,
huh?
He's a big red orange like dragon that spits fire.
Are you
Spitfire up on?
That's 2 episodes in a row with that Spitfire done some, huh?
It's been every episode from the time we started. I'm trying to sneak them in there.
True. You know what?
CP all day.
That is a signature sound of yours now. I agree with you on that. If your son grows up to be a Pokemon fan, are you going to keep them for him and just give them to him, or are you going to sell them to your son? That's a shitty question, I know.
I ain't going to sell nothing to my son.
No,
man.
but are you actually considering are you going to, like, as of right now, they're already his, or because you already sold the whole pack? Are you, and you still have a bunch left, right?
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna sell those 2, man, because to be honest, it's the peak of the interest right now, bro. You got that Detective Pikachu film coming out in the summer. I'm just gonna get rid of that shit. And
that is a perfect time.
It's perfect time, and I'm gonna spend that money on him. I'm gonna try to bank it or
college, bro.
In a school fund. I'm gonna put it in like the RESP I got for him. I don't know what. But it's going to come back to him. But all this other shit you see is all his, though, for sure.
Oh, man, that's big facts. And everybody needs to see. I'm telling you, we got to get the cameras rolling over here so we can show this damn shrine of his. The man cave is definitely popping out here. So, Pokemon out of the way. Shout out to Pikachu. Everyone called me Pikachu back because of my freaking cheeks and all of that. I don't really care anymore now. It used to bug me back in the days, but you know what I mean? Like, I grew out of that.
But now everyone loves Pikachu.
Yeah. They like to just peek at you. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So, Pokemon was definitely something that I loved watching.
Okay.
You know, with Ash.
Oh, by the way, I was also partaking in tournaments at Saint Laurent Mall. That's a 90s throwback. They had the first
with the cards?
They had the first Ottawa Pokemon card league there.
Yeah.
And then we all got kicked out of there. Well, it was a formal league, and everyone had to pay an entrance fee to rent off a part of the food court.
Yeah.
After that was done,
Saint Laurent. Wow.
that's a shout. That's a mad 90s shout right there. After that was finished, we all went to this fucking card store in the West End. I don't even know what it was, but we had tournaments in there.
It's probably EB Games before it was games or something. It was
Some shit like that. I don't even know.
EB cards.
I don't even know. But yeah, I was heavy. And bro, as you can see, you have all throwback games up there. I have like Pokemon Snap, Hey You Pikachu,
So that's
Pokemon Stadium.
So I gotta cut you there because I know that we're going to bring back Pokemon later on in the show. We will bring them back. This is not the end of Pokemon, but in terms of cards, you're telling me you had that one card, which is the rarest card to get, the first edition Charizard. Now, my biggest collection that I had were Crazy Bones. You weren't too big on Crazy Bones, right, when you were younger?
No, but Pogs, I was big on, but the problem with Pogs was timing, bro. When Pogs landed, that's when like Pokemon cards fucking like catapulted.
Triple entendre, don't ask me how,
Yeah.
man. My thing with Pogs is that I only got hyped for Pogs because of Space Jam. Because when I got the Space Jam VHS, bro, shout out to MJ and the Looney Tunes, it came with a slammer. And that slammer looked like a loony.
Everyone loved the Slammer.
It looked like an oversized loony that was sold at Costco. Because that bitch was really big. And I loved it. And I basically wanted... Space Jam is the reason why I got into Pogs. Never had a huge collection of... Actually, yeah, I did. Because didn't Pogs have like customized Pogs, for like teams and shit like that, cartoons, TV shows?
The whole thing with the Pogs that was big was like the different kinds of slammers you can get.
Yeah, the slammers were big.
Everyone went crazy for the slammers, and
that was like the boss.
There even was ones that had like spike ridges on them.
Yeah,
those were the rare ones. Yeah.
Ooh, look at George out here again. Inception Volume 2, bro. Oh man, I forgot about the spiky Pogs, man. Not the slammers, just the regular Pogs, right?
Yes, sir.
So Pogs was definitely a pivotal moment for me in the 90s. But for me, the most epic time was Crazy Bones, man. Because people were going crazy for these bones, bro.
That's nuts, man. Man.
People were fighting, physically fighting.
I can't even remember where I saw any of the kids in my class or in my school play that shit.
See...
It was probably a school thing, man. I think it was school dependent.
Yeah. Because
nobody played Crazy Bones at my school.
It was a trending thing for certain schools. Every school had a trending thing. Our schools, listen, my school in particular, Laurier Carrière, man, we had a very weird phase.
What the fuck did George just say there? What was that?
Laurier Carrière.
I got you.
A lot of classic moments happened back then. Shout out to the dude who tried to shoot up the school with a BB gun. You know what I mean? Yeah, that shit went down. Shit went down. I'm not kidding you.
He's a fucking nut.
We had several phases at that school, starting from Pogs, Crazy Bones, and the nastiest thing ever was we were collecting grasshoppers, bro. So in the summertime.
So just a disclaimer: George went to the most fucked up school. He had grasshopper collectors and a dude trying to shoot up the school with BB guns. Where did you go to school? In Afghanistan or something? Or what? What the fuck was going on?
It was Paris, Lebanon.
By the way, I have a Paris, Lebanon. By the way, I ain't throwing no shade. I have a lot of Afghani friends. But George, that sounds some fucked up shit, man.
It's just what it was. Like, I guess people were just bored. Like, we had these hoodlum teens that would walk by our school and then they start throwing snowballs at us. And then that turned into a thing. And then one day, we were on the bus going back home, right? Shout out to my bus driver, Phil. He was the night...
Uncle Phil.
No, he was no uncle, whatever. He was bus driver Phil. Bus driver Phil was the illest dude because he was like that rad, cool...
Did he throw you guys out like jazz?
No. No, he threw snowballs at the hoodlum kids because they happened to be walking at the same area where my bus driver was, bringing the kids back back home.
That's a G bus driver right
there. Yeah, he was the G'est among G's, bro. He would be the third G in this pod right now. I'm not even kidding you. Like, sick. I don't know where Phil is today, if he's alive, bro, and if you're listening to this somehow, some way. I don't even know if that's his actual name, to be honest, but I just remember Phil. I just
So
remember
where
Phil.
did you get Phil from?
I think it was Phil
From
because
Fresh Prince is still on your mind from last week?
Yes, you know, got rest
God rest his
James
soul.
Avery,
James
man.
Avery.
But it's because I heard other kids on the bus say, "Oh, Phil, oh my God, please go whip those kids' butts," because the four hoodlums who were trying to like harass us with snowballs, and I think they were even trying to harm us and shit because they were like the icy snowballs, bro.
That's fucked.
They were the snowball thugs, man. One day, the bus driver Phil, he landed at the stop for one of the kids to get out, and then he got out, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm done with this shit." So he basically threw snowballs back at them, and he made them run off, bro. Like, what kind of a G does it take for us to have, you know what I mean, like a bus driver out here protecting and serving more than the police is? You know what I mean? He saved us, bro, because these kids were out here trying to kill us, man.
Don't be silly. We're really out here, you know?
Yeah. So, anyways, I was talking about Crazy Bones, right?
Yeah.
Crazy Bones was a crazy time in our lives because, and along with I'll explain you the grasshopper thing. So the grasshopper is because we thought it was a huge rare thing, just like the Charizard, you know, first edition card, right?
Yeah.
So when winter started to like die down, those grasshoppers, they just popped out of nowhere. So we were just chasing them. We see them, we're like, "Yo, what the hell is that, man? Grab them shits." It was like Pokemon card stars. It was like Pogs and shit, Crazy Bones. And I remember this, you're not gonna believe this shit. One time, my childhood best friend, his name is Jeff. He had grabbed a bunch of these grasshoppers, and one day, you know what he tried to do? He wanted to pull a prank on another girl at school that was in our
I was
class.
gonna say, man, fuck. When did he try to eat them?
Hell, fucking no way. The chocolate ones wasn't that that was the Saved by the Bell thing. The chocolate grasshoppers.
I think that was on the Fear Factor, bro.
No, because I think it was either Screech or was it maybe Steve Urkel? Anyways, whatever. The point is, the grasshoppers. He had a bunch of them in a bag, right? So what did he do? He grabbed the grasshoppers and he had a handful of them. He put them in her school bag without her even knowing about it. And then when she finally opened up her zipper, she opened them. They all jumped out and she screamed for her life. And bro, I think she peed her pants, man.
This guy's nuts.
This was what our childhood was like at that elementary school, Logika. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man, shit was hectic out there. So
Crazy motherfucker.
we had our grasshopper phase. We had the Crazy Bone phase. The 90s to me was all about the Crazy Bones. Next, what else did we have in the 90s that we love so freaking much?
Now our goal is to do a smooth transition from outdoor games to indoor games, bro.
Gotcha.
you see what I did there?
You definitely killed that shit. So, where were your go-to spots in the 90s to go eat, man?
Ooh, to go eat or games, man? What are we talking about right now?
Oh, my bad. I was thinking of food all of a sudden.
George blew the transition.
All right.
His head is at McDonald's pizza right now.
You know what?
George,
what?
get back. You don't know me like that.
Rewind that shit.
That's
so,
it.
first of all, I'm seeing the shrine in front of me right here.
George is seeing the 90 game consoles here.
Let me ask you a question. Of everything that we're looking at right now, were these all like you had all of these simultaneously, or did you get one and then when that died down, you'd get the next one?
I just kept adding and adding and adding.
So you didn't have all these at the same time?
I did, but only at the end of that time.
That period or whatever.
So
all right, let's start from the beginning. What was the first console you had?
So I knew my older brother. Again, I got to give a shout out to the older brother, Mike,
we need to cut him a check, man.
Honestly, we have to, because this guy is a source of content. He's a source of content for my life.
Give him Pokemon money, bro. What you doing?
I gotta give him some. Fuck him, man. He used to hate it. Man, he used to smoke me in Pokemon. Him and his fucking Blastoise. Mike, if you're listening to this, fuck your Blastoise, bro. You used to murk me with the fucking Blastoise. Mike knows the Blastoise trick and treats, man.
This guy's shitting on his own bro. Okay, let's go back to the consoles, though.
Consoles. First important game console to me was the Super Nintendo / Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Because I had them both at the same time. I don't even know where the Super Nintendo is. It's probably at my mom's house.
I see the Sega, though.
But I got the Sega. And I'll tell you right now.
Wait. Sega!
So listen. Mad props to both of those, SNES and the Sega Genesis. If you had to put a gun in my head and I had to pick one out, I'd go with the Sega. I'm a Sega lifer. You can see I have 3 of the last fucking consoles from that company right in front there. I gotta give props to Sega. Why? Because they kept games in their most natural, pure form. Mm-hmm. I found the graphics were better, generally speaking, than the same games on the SNES, on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Sonic
SNES.
definitely was the epitome of that, man.
And they had those iconic games like Sonic and shit like that. Even more importantly, though, to me, my favorite game growing up, or my favorite games were Street Fighter, of course, but Mortal Kombat above all else.
Fatality.
Finish him. Get over here.
Holy shit, bro. That was kind of scary, man.
Trust me, I get in it, bro. I got a Scorpion and a Sub-Zero painting on a table. I don't have space for it here.
Yeah, I saw the little toy hanging somewhere.
Definitely. I'm a Scorpion lifer. So, okay. And I got to give props to Sega because when Mortal Kombat came into arcades in 93, I want to say.
There's a video on YouTube about that, by the way.
It's the history of MK. It's a 5 or 6 parter.
Yeah.
The guy's legit. And then he talks about how his dad died at the last episode. Man, did you watch that last episode?
No, I didn't get it.
It's sad. He says his father who passed, he has the best memories of him playing like MK with him. It's pretty sad.
Damn.
But I know exactly exactly what you're talking.
Shout out to that guy, man. I gotta find his name.
Shout out to that guy. That guy has a podcast himself. George is gonna link it up at some point.
Wow. Okay.
Props to Sega because when MK came out from the arcades into consoles, the Sega version was bloody and gory like the arcade version.
That's what he was explaining.
That's what he said. SNES,
Yeah.
and I didn't even notice that, bro, until he made that video. Then I went back and I thought about it. I said, "Fuck!" And then I played MK2 on that. And he was right, man. They're gory on the Sega.
Wait, Super Nintendo removed the
removed
blood and the gore.
They removed the
but
blood
on
and
this
gore, but
version
Sega
right
kept
here.
it arcade real.
Oh,
yes.
shit.
So
mind blown.
That was an iconic thing. And all of y'all that love the old MK, there's an arcade company called Arcade 1UP, FYI. They sell tiny arcade machines. So they don't have one like mine, which is standard size cabinet.
Yeah.
They make ones which are about half the height. You probably saw that all of y'all that have been to Walmart in the last 5 or 6 months saw that they had a Street Fighter 2 one. And they have a Pac-Man one. Yeah. And it's real arcade version into a smaller arcade box.
Yo, plug the Walmart location because I'm going to go. I don't think every Walmart
Any
has
Walmart.
it.
If you go to walmart.ca, you can order it online.
In Quebec too? You
in
sure
Quebec,
about that?
everywhere. Arcade 1UP.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So, and it costs $2.99. It's a tenth of the price of an actual arcade machine. And it has a real arcade version. It's a smaller box, so it fits in your crib if you're in a basement, if you're in a smaller house, if you're in a smaller apartment. So it's more practical.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a stand. You can buy a stand that increases the height. So it's like a normal height, but it's still a smaller box.
Yeah.
So props to Arcade 1UP. Arcade 1UP in September, they're coming out with a Mortal Kombat 1 with Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 inside of it. So that's going to go like over there in that corner right there. So everyone knows that.
We're going to link you to the YouTuber dude who went ham with the 5 episodes.
Definitely.
And we might have to get him on the podcast and
5-part series.
A whole nostalgic and Mortal Kombat. Because listen, man, I had Mortal Kombat, but on Super Nintendo. I never owned the Sega Genesis,
Every
unfortunately.
kid had a copy of it, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how broke you were. Your parents had to spend $30 and buy you that game.
So let me get this straight. The OG Sega is called Sega Genesis, and then the white box right there is the Sega, what's it called? Dreamcast? Is that a Dreamcast right there?
So the order of the consoles that came out, you got the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
You got the Sega Saturn. That one.
Saturn, that's it. Yeah.
So I'll tell you right now, the Sega Saturn is my favorite
that's
arcade
the one that had like
system.
a screen, like I had like a little screen on your controller, or is that the
That's
Dreamcast?
the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
So the most underrated console in the history, and anyone who tries to fucking fight me on this, I will out-knowledge your ass. The most underrated console was the Sega Saturn.
Planet.
Why? I'll tell you why. Okay, this is... Man, you fucking owe me money, Sega. Even though you're out of business right now. The Saturn was the first console to introduce CDs before the PS1, before the PlayStation. Okay? Not only that, it had a better processor than at the PlayStation. The games had better like graphic capabilities, and they could handle heavier games. There's games, arcade games, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, heavy games for the culture when I was growing up that half-assed versions came out on a PlayStation because it couldn't handle it. But the full versions came out on the Sega Saturn. The problem with the Saturn, that shit came out too soon, and it came out first in Japan, and people were anticipating it here for so long, but there was such a large gap between when it came out here from when it first came out overseas. People lost interest, and then it came out like a month or 2 months before the PlayStation came out. And if you know Sony, it's an electronics company. They advertise the hell out of that crappy system. The Sony PlayStation is one of the worst systems ever, but it's one of the most popular ones because it was like heavily marketed, man. And the Sega Saturn, man, they upped the price too much, and because of that, it fell out of favor. And within 2 years, it was gone. Even though it had iconic games for it, it was gone.
I got it. Nah, fam. I'm disagreeing with you, bro. I did not have any problems with my PS1, whether it was the OG system or the PS1 Slim, whatever you guys want to call it. I just know that I had both. I think I did have both. I know I had the first one when it came out. This was what, like 96, 95, something like that. I just know that I had it, bro, and I was so excited for that shit.
No. Listen, it's popular. It's one of the most popular consoles ever.
I was satisfied with
but it wasn't. Yeah, no, exact. And like a lot of people that don't know about the Saturn or they did not play it, they would agree with you. But if you go back and even if you play the games now, they're much better than a PS1.
I'm that guy. I'm part of that population that never tried the Saturn. So,
a lot of people didn't, and I can't blame you because they fucked it up.
So
they fell flat on their face with the marketing
and
aspect,
the pricing and all that.
The pricing, and it was just a bad concoction. There's a video on it also from the same dude that did MK.
Is that guy like a
that guy's like a retro dude.
He's a big.
It's a good guy.
Vintage gamer.
By the way, anyone that wants these games, if you want an old version of MK, if you want to buy an old computer, if you want to buy an old Saturn, you want a Sega Genesis, you want SNES, and you don't want to spend like that motherfucker who's trying to post the game for like very expensive.
It's like $100, $200, man.
There's two stores I gotta tell all y'all about. If any of y'all are from the Ottawa side, there's a store called Games Zetera. There's like 2 locations.
Etc.
But Games Zetera. There's 2 locations, and they actually have an original like a Street Fighter arcade that you can play in there. Yeah, it's
with coins and all.
Coins, it's legit. And it's an actual it is an original one. They have 2 spots. They got one in the west. They got a new one they just opened in Orleans. That's a good stop. In Gatineau, for all you Quebecers like us here, we got the Griffin Bleu. This is a bleu.
That's how I know this guy went to like Franco something, man. This guy.
I didn't even go to a French school. I don't speak French. So it's any of y'all that know the area. It's across from La Boîte à Grains on La Gap. If you guys know.
Gatineau. Okay.
It's Gatineau. It's called Le Griffon Bleu.
Don't give too much info because they're gonna eventually find out where I live, and nobody's supposed to know where I live because your boy is
George lives in bleep. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So if you go to both of those stores,
has a location. I'm happy that.
If you go to both of those stores, man, you can buy an SNES for like $80. You can buy each game for like $10 or $15, including MK. You can get it for $30.
Do you have any Saturn games?
I have.
You do?
I do.
Are they functioning?
They are functioning 100%. And that one that you see there is a rare Japanese one.
Yeah, it looks freaking Japanese.
The actual one from here was black. Japan had a white and a gray version.
I love that.
Yes, and it's better. And I even have a RAM card in there. Man, I don't know if you can see from there. But the Sega Saturn had such powerful games that oftentimes you had to install extra RAM into it just for it to operate. Yeah.
You know what I love about it too? Because usually we were all accustomed to having 2 slots. This thing has 4 slots, and it was a 90s console, right?
So that is actually So that one is actually Dreamcast right there. So
Dreamcast, I'm looking at the Dreamcast this whole time.
No, I'm talking about the Saturn beside on the right.
Okay, the white one right there. That white little
That's
box.
a Dreamcast.
Okay, which one is a Saturn then?
On the right of that.
That big fucking...
That tank, that was the first CD player. That was the first.
That's a no limit. That's the motherfucker right there.
This was the pioneer of CDs in a gaming system.
That looks
bro.
like my first ever computer tower from like 2000, man. Or 19, no, from like 1998.
That one, that the whole time, bro, that you're staring at, it was a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
That one is also an underrated console.
Hell yeah.
That is one of the best consoles. And again, they fucked up. The price was too expensive. They again made the same mistake to Sony. They released it around the same time as a PS2.
Nah, not a good move. Man.
You can't do that. You're going to get blown out of the water. Fucking Sony advertised like crazy. And again, within 3 or 4 years, that shit was off the market, man. They fucked it up.
So I'm looking at the proper Saturn right now. What is that game that's in there that's all full-blown Japanese, Chinese in there?
So that's the RAM card.
Oh,
bro.
that's a card? That's not a game?
That's RAM. The games on the Sega Saturn were even more powerful than the ones on the Dreamcast or Sony PS1 or 2.
Okay, let me ask you the final question. Can we have a game night, please?
1,000,000%. I'll
coming
take you
back.
through all of these fucking throwbacks, bro. I'll take you through.
Forget the podcast. I want a game now. Like, I don't even want to record
Definitely.
anymore. So that's dope. Now, let's go back to a real vintage time. We're going back to the mobile handheld devices. We're talking
Ooh,
Game Boy.
Game Gear, Game Boy.
Oof. Bro, so you obviously had the biggest brick. You had like the OG brick, right? The brick Game Boy, right? Look at George. George needs like 10 steps to go up there because oh my god. I don't even know what that is, but that shit look really vintage.
Game Gear, it's from the fucking Sega.
Yeah, but
It came out before this.
the first thing that I was introduced to was the OG gray, not the Game Boy Color where it was see-through. I'm talking the opaque brick gray, the natural
The
gray.
big thick one. I never had that one.
The one that looks like the same. No, I think it was even lighter than your shorts right now. But the one I'm talking about is the one that we all had growing up with the Tetris game that came with it.
It's
Shout out to my
iconic,
cousins.
iconic.
Shout out to the Mirage cousins because they're the ones who had that shit originally. To me, I was introduced to that through them. They had it, but every time I'd see them, I would hog it for their entire visit, coming from Sarnia all the way to Ottawa. Shout out to Sarnia.
Sarnia.
A lot of 90s memories over there, man. I'm telling you, bro. I loved the Tetris game. And then, of course, my first ever Game Boy purchase was a birthday gift. Shout out to my mom. She got this for me on my birthday. Late 90s, so it's still considered as a 90s edition thing. The Game Boy Pocket.
Yes, sir.
The Game Boy Pocket was the broke boy version of the Game Boy Color. For those who couldn't afford the color, they'd get the Pocket. So,
man, I don't even remember how I hold that, man.
but guess what? Guess
Game
what?
Boy, I gotta look this shit up.
Because I was broke and I didn't give a shit what I had. I was that was a time in my life where I was extremely happy to get this. Why? Because with that console came the introduction to Pokemon, bro. Oh
sir.
my god.
Pokemon
Did
Yellow,
I have a
Pokemon
blast
Red, and Blue.
with Pokemon Red, man. I was a blood back then, so I had to stick with the Reds, man.
Well, you had a Charizard on there, bro, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't know why they had a blue edition and a red edition and then eventually a yellow edition and a gold edition and like every color edition. Like, why are you guys trying to bring out all the rainbows out here? What is this, a Skittles edition? Let me ask you, of all the consoles that you owned in the 90s, the handheld ones as well, give me the top three. Actually, you know what? No, I'm tired of the top three. Give me your least favorite ones because they're all amazing. So I want to know which ones.
I can't even say my favorite.
Least favorite is still a favorite. It's just your least favorite.
I can't even say my least. All I know is
because they all
my
had
favorite
special
one was the Sega Game Gear. That like black box that I showed you.
That big black thing.
That was even better than any Game Boy.
That's handheld.
That is handheld. It's a big one. It needed 6 batteries to power that shit. 6 double A's, bro. It's 6 double A's, bro. I got 2 of them. George, the games were so good. It was like you're playing a Sega Genesis on a.
So it was like Nintendo DS way before Nintendo DS.
Fucking Sega was the best. I don't know how they did.
So Sega were like the originals.
They were always ahead.
They're really
always ahead.
They're like the pioneers.
They were always ahead of shit, but they ended up fucking last.
Even though gaming goes way back to like the 50s, 60s,
but
and all that.
they were the best companies, man.
Yeah,
they were the best company.
Was Sega was Sega established in the 90s or was it?
It was no, it was 80s and 90s, especially 90s. Now they actually closed their console like part of their fucking company. Now they just make games for other consoles.
In conclusion to the game department, we are gonna have a game night here. We're not gonna do a live. We already did the Man Cave episode way back, but we're gonna definitely have a vintage gaming time over here. I cannot wait for it now. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have to book some time, man. I'm telling you. I'm dead ass serious, by the way.
100%.
I don't care how busy you are. Leave work and come see me here. Pause.
100%.
No, real shit though. I really want to do this. George, do we do a last but not least movies edition now for the 90s to end off the whole, trilogy?
Well, I gotta talk about like McDonald's pizza. Bro.
Oh, of course, because
special part.
I skipped the gaming to go straight into McDonald's because I was so hungry. I'm thinking of McDonald's pizza. Give me a
special place in the heart for the McDonald's pizza. Hands down the best.
You have stories?
I do. Hands down the best fast food pizza ever. Like fast food pizza. It's smoked pizza. It smokes Pizza Hut was the McDonald's pizza.
Oh, yeah.
It came fresh. It took so long. The reason they pulled it is because of how long it took because they made it fresh.
Bad marketing, too?
Bad marketing.
Too expensive?
But it was the time. It took about 20 minutes. And back then, that's when like McDonald's first introduced drive-thru and they guaranteed you're in and out in under 5 minutes, but the pizzas took 20 minutes.
So people were ordering that pizza through the drive-thru?
20 minutes, yeah.
See,
and because of that, bro, they pulled it out of the shelves because of complaints. That's the only reason.
But let me tell you, my experience with the McDonald's pizza only happened in school. Laurier career, we had the pizzas. It was the whole round pizza, but it literally looked like it was an extra small size. But even that extra small size was enough for a little 8-year-old kid like me because, you're not going to feed him an XL from Pizza. And they took that small little circle and they cut it like a pie, right? Like in 4 slices. And that was what my childhood looked like at school. I think we had it once a month. They just wanted to treat the kids, right? But I think you had to pay for it too, right? You weren't getting that for free.
Definitely not.
But it was part of like a food program thing within the school.
Yeah.
So the kids who signed up for it, you'd get it at least once a month. I don't think I signed up for it because, again, your boy was too broke and I was eating my peanut butter sandwiches. Shout out to Mom Dukes again.
Well, you guys were lucky to have McDonald's. Us, we had like whack pizza on a Friday. It was good some weeks, but then like, fuck, man. It was whack other weeks. But you were lucky, man.
If I ever did go to McDonald's, because I was Team Burger King in the 90s.
Ooh, I don't know. We're going to have to fight over that.
And Team KFC a little bit. But if I ever did go in the 90s, I don't think I ever ordered that pizza. Like, I only got like the fucking whatever cheeseburger McDonald's.
Man, that pizza was a staple of the Zahalan household when we went out to go to Mickey D's. Also, we're poor, so when we went out for dinner, it was to Mickey D's.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, there is one McDonald's in the world that still has that pizza. The owner of the franchise refused to let go of the oven, and like fucking however long ago it was. It's in Virginia. It's a 7-hour drive from here. Man, it's a road trip.
Do we do it? Shall we?
It's a road trip that's going to happen one day. It's a 7-hour drive for that McDonald's pizza.
But we got to go before they shut down because eventually they're going to only be available on Amazon. They're going to come to you stale.
Stale, bro, like the Dunkaroos. Everyone, caution. Everyone, please read the reviews if you're going to buy Dunkaroos from Amazon.
Yeah. So there's only one
toys,
location.
Bro, the toys you used to get when you used to go there and those fucking hockey cards. Even if you didn't like hockey, and I loved hockey as a kid, but even if you didn't, you loved those cards, man.
So that's where most of my childhood came from when it came to these memorabilias was from McDonald's because McDonald's used to provide us with the 3D cards. Shout out Pavel Bure, man. Pavel Bure was my favorite 3D card from the NHL,
Not
man.
Mine.
Ooh.
Mine was Patrick Waugh.
The 3D Patrick Waugh, man.
No limit.
Yo, by the way, the Avalanche team were like the Warriors of today, of the 90s in hockey, and the Detroit Red Wings too.
Yes,
those battles in the 90s were crazy. But McDonald's, a lot of legendary moments.
God bless you, McDonald's, for going out of your way to stock the best toys, the best cards for us kids. They had a Batman, they had a set of Batman toys from my favorite cartoon Batman anime series. The most quality toys ever, man. If I find them again, I'm going to put them in that glass box.
But the sleeper picks for toys within, fast food joints was, of course, Burger King. I got my digital watches from them, my fake Rollies from there.
The fake
Rollies. The fake Timexes, fake everything. They all came from Burger King. So Burger King definitely had their way. We had it our way with them. But, another underrated sleeper food that came with toys was Kinder Surprise. I don't think you ever experienced that. Did you?
No.
And the best part about it is you have to build that shit too. Like a tiny little egg, a chocolate egg, you break it and then you have to. It came with instructions and a little chocolate, bro.
Honestly,
it was amazing. I loved it. I loved
I had
Kinder Surprise, man.
Listen, I had a passion to get them. I wanted to keep buying like a Kinder Surprise whenever we'd go out.
Yeah.
But when it came time to, and I was excited to open it, but I never wanted to fucking build that shit. I just got a rush from getting it and opening it. That's it.
And the main part, which was the chocolate part, like I love the actual chocolate too. Like that feeling of the chocolate, the milk chocolate. You had the vanilla chocolate, you had the main chocolate, whatever. The actual food portion of the thing.
The brown with the white inside. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I know. I suck at describing it, but the point is, the actual chocolate edition was great. The toys that came with it were great. I had a collection of them. I'm pretty sure my collection was as big as what you got down here in this fucking man cave. Peace to Kinder Surprise, Burger King. Burger King definitely had a Sega moment where they just kind of like went under the radar. They're still around, of course, but in terms of toys and things like that, do toys even exist anymore at these fast food franchises, bro?
Barely. And if they do, the kids don't give a fuck about them. I gotta give
unless it's like an iPad or something. That's what they're used to now.
Man, I gotta give another food, definite heavy food shout out to Harvey's.
Ooh.
Back in the days, they had the Church's chicken.
Didn't know about that.
Ooh, George, you missed something.
How do you have such good memory of things when you were this young? Like, bro, I wish I can go back. Unless your brother was telling you about it because your bro was bigger.
No, it was my mom used to take me out for lunch sometimes and would take me to Harvey's for the Church's chicken, bro. That shit was the best chicken I ever had.
Yo,
no limit.
We gotta kind of rewind to the video game aspect of things. You mentioned there was only one more McDonald's in the world with pizza. Yo, shout out to the last freaking Blockbuster, man. That is the last of a dying breed, bro. Literally,
Blockbuster, the best place to go on a Friday
night.
To go excited
Thank
with
you.
your family. And it was sick when they actually allowed you to rent the consoles that you could not afford to.
They let you rent consoles, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, that I love
like
that.
The Xbox PS2 when it came out.
I mean,
and I gotta give a shout out to my sister Ashley because she worked at Blockbuster, was a manager there. Best movie that you could rent. It was so exciting. Now we sit on our fat asses and we watch Netflix. It's better than Netflix, man.
Fuck the Netflix, man. So my 90s video game memories, my best memories, Super Nintendo, Super Mario World, Mario Kart, of course.
You have to go with the card. You have to put the card in.
Like, I love this so much that around Christmas...
It ain't no 90s without the card.
Bro, I love this shit so much that the last Christmas that just passed, I had to order the Super Nintendo Classic. Okay, the USB version, right? Like, I don't give a shit of what it's like or whatever. I love it so much that I even had to get the extension cord because the OG cord
because they give you the shit. Yeah, like the short ass.
It's as short as like an iPhone charger cord, bro. It's annoying, and my ass is not trying to sit 2 feet away from the TV so I can.
Bro, their whole goal is to fuck your eyesight up.
Honestly, man, I loved every single game that I ever played. Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. Oh my god. Yo, I spent
man. I got the Slugfest up there.
I spent countless hours at Blockbuster. Bro, okay, so Barhaven. I got to go back to Barhaven. Barhaven next to KFC. So this is what my routine used to be like on Friday or Saturday nights. So my mama would take me to get KFC, and next door in the little plaza had another underground video game store where I made sure I had to get NBA Jam 96, 97, 98, every NBA no, my bad, NBA Live. My bad.
Live.
But NBA Jam though, boom shakalaka. Oh my god.
The boom shakalaka
oh my god.
There.
Game night.
I got the boom shakalaka up there.
Done deal. Yo, tell me you remember Bill Clinton as a secret character.
Of course, man.
Thank you.
Everyone does. If you don't know about Bill, and a lot of like fake NBA Jam fans don't know that MJ was not even in the game.
He wasn't. It was
that
Grant
guy didn't
Hill
want to give
Pippen.
his likeness, or they had a mystery player too, but there was actually MJ.
But it was mainly oh my god, man. Yo, bro, I have to give a big shout out to all my cousins from the 90s. Well, they're still my cousins today. But my cousins in the 90s.
Bro, so give me your top 10 list of cousins from the 90s. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, man. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that shit. People might like unfollow me and unfriend me and just delete me from their lives. They're not gonna invite me to their weddings and shit. Listen, I'm gonna tell you straight up though. You had a big brother. My version of a big brother were all my cousins who had all of these consoles. They had the magazines with the cheat codes for Mortal Kombat fatalities. They had everything that I ever basically experienced was because of them.
And I gotta give a shout out to Game Shark. I don't know if you remember Game Shark.
Oh, the cheat codes on
that
Game
shit,
Shark,
you
man.
put it inside of the thing and it unlocks your game for you. Legit. Shout out to Game Shark.
Game Shark, man. So, Donkey Kong. The Donkey Kong game. What was it called again? Not Diddy Kong Racing. The Donkey Kong World or whatever. It was like it was like Mario World, but it was Donkey Kong. What was it called?
Donkey Kong World.
So Donkey Kong was also something that was introduced via my cousins. I had everything because of them. Because they had all that shit. I loved it. Now I'm like, I want that shit too. Instead of having iPads and iPhones and all these tablets and all these shitty gadgets that we're also addicted and attracted to today, we had the video games. That was our lives, man. I'm telling you. These were the days of our lives, bro.
Definitely.
Peace to General Hospital and the young and the restless. We were young and we were restless back then, man.
And as our final topic, before we wrap it up, building on a blockbuster, bro, the movies. Tell me about your favorite films from the 90s.
So, Air Bud, for some reason, just popped in my head right now. The First Kid. Do you remember The First Kid with Sinbad? The black dude Sinbad?
I do.
So, the oldest child in Home Improvement was the bully who's trying to fight with the first kid. I love that movie. That movie probably has the worst ratings on IMDb. I don't give a shit. My heart's rating gives it a 10 out of 10. I loved it. Of course, Money Talks. Of course, the Mighty Ducks trilogy, but of course the first and the second were like the best ones. You know what I mean? What are we talking about again? Hey, Paisan! Like, oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. No McDonald's, but I'm loving it. Titanic, bro. How can I forget the epic Titanic, man?
The most overrated movie, though. 100%.
Get out, man, before I throw you out, Uncle Phil style. I swear.
I still remember. I went with my whole family.
I did too.
My mom was crying. My sister was crying. My other sister, my brother was crying. Me, I was laughing. I'm like, why are these motherfuckers crying?
They got the wrong George, bro. You sure you weren't you sure they didn't switch us at birth? Because
weak ass film, bro.
Because let's just be honest, man. I feel like I'd be part of that family just as good because your sisters were watching Saved by the Bell. I cried at fucking Titanic too. So did my family. Like, pause. Like, we had our moments, man. I mean, especially with Jack. Like, come on, bro. How can you not cry at that?
My favorite films from back then.
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
First place is Sandlot.
Of course.
Sandlot is the number one movie for me from that time, and the second was Space Jam.
Of course, Space Jam.
It's blasphemous that you said Air Bud before you said Space Jam, bro.
I know. Come on, and overtime. Welcome to the Space Jam.
I should fucking throw your ass out like Jazz.
You have every right to throw me out.
You're
no
crazy.
disrespect to the homie Air Bud and the guy, his owner, and all that, but y'all definitely gotta get in back of the line because Space Jam shits on you. Space Jam was like the OG Coach Carter to me. That was the 90s Coach Carter. Probably not, but it was still a great movie. Was there any like cartoon movies in the 90s that were super dope? Or cartoons I feel like came later on in life? 90s was more real life shit,
Definitely.
Right?
There is one movie that is iconic, and that's from Batman the Animated Series. It's called Batman: The Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
Any of y'all that like the Batman the Animated Show, you guys have to listen. You guys have to watch that movie. It came out in theaters. It's highly regarded as the best Batman movie, animated or real, the best one. Yeah. It's a really good movie. And other good films for me, aside from the fun kid ones, was Batman, like the Tim Burton one that I talked about last episode, the one with the Penguin and Catwoman. It's called Batman Returns.
Oh, with Danny DeVito, I think.
DeVito. That is one of my favorites too.
That actually scared me, so that's why I didn't like it too much because I watched it and
it's Tim Burton. Those are his movies. He did A Nightmare Before Christmas. He did Edward Scissorhands. He did dark movies.
So okay.
He also did Beetlejuice.
Okay, I don't know that actually.
You're crazy. Addams Family.
I'll take the L for that because I wasn't part of that wave with the Beetlejuice shit. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna rerun that list of my tops. There is no 5. I'm just gonna list you my favorites. So I'm gonna tell you right now before you cut me off. Home Alone.
Definitely.
Home Alone 2.
Definitely.
And then everything after that doesn't fucking count in the franchise. The franchise ended after 2. Okay,
got
Richie Rich,
Yeah.
Macaulay yo, Macaulay, bruh. I see you making a comeback today, bruh. Shout out to you, man.
Makes the comeback, man.
I'm happy that you're coming back, you know, to the public and everything. You got your Instagram, you got your YouTube channel. You even did the commercial where you did like a remake of the whole Home Alone thing, you know. I think it was the Energizer. I don't know what it was. He did a commercial. No, it was an ad, I think, for one of those like big companies or whatever.
Okay, so as me, I just opened up a list because there's so many movies.
Bro, you can't do that, man.
Forgetting.
We no, fam. Everything gotta come from the fucking here.
I don't give a shit.
Remember tonight? Remember you did this shit? Yeah, it's gotta come from the dome.
But this is an essential topic.
Get it.
Hook. We got Hook. You remember Hook?
Oh my God, Robin Williams. All right. Oh my God, I
Rest
just
in
thought about like
peace.
5 movies of him right now.
Miss Doubtfire, all the best ones. Bro, I don't know if you watched, but like, did you watch the Mortal Kombat movie?
Are you shitting me?
Because it's on this list from like Rotten Tomatoes, which is good. It's actually, yeah.
See, now I feel like shit because we're relying on a shitty ass list. I need to think about these organically in my fucking brain.
Up next after this one, and I know you're gonna freak out when I say this. Sister Act, definitely.
Eddie, wasn't Eddie?
And then we got He Got Game.
Yeah, that I need to get back on it. I was.
Don't tell me you didn't watch He Got Game. Oh God! Whoa! We had a breakthrough. We fucking exposed the hole in his ball, in his love of the game, the love of ball. George has never seen He Got Game.
All I had to watch was Space Jam. That's all I needed as a kid.
Bro, if you're a ball fan, you watch He Got Game. It's the best ball movie of all time. At least that's what I say.
Yeah.
Other movies from the 90s, very late 90s, it was American Pie, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
It came out in 99, which
Shout out
is pretty
Stifler,
fucking late.
man.
Pretty fucking late for sure.
That felt like a 2000s
a big one for me as well. A Jurassic Park, that was huge.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of
bro,
shit
but we
right
got
now.
The Matrix. Fuck, The
Yeah.
Matrix was
Matrix
also
was a
mess.
90s flick.
Yes,
It's probably like 99.
99, 100%.
Yeah. Bro, I gotta cut you right now because
Tell
I'm
me.
gonna give you my favorites right now because you're making me think right now. So anything that had Robin Williams. So Mrs. Doubtfire, Hook, Jumanji.
Yeah.
Okay, those are my.
I was not a huge fan of that, but it was still.
Those were my favorites because a lot of movies, a lot of classics that came out in the 90s, I watched them later in life as an adult. But anything that I watched as a kid consisted of those. Home Alone, Money Talks. I watched it even though that was a pretty vulgar movie for what it's worth, you know. Two of a Kind. It Takes Two with John Travolta and Christy Allen.
And yo, bro, we can't forget all the Disney movies. Straight up.
Oh, Aladdin.
Bro, we got Aladdin, we got Lion King, we got Mulan, the crazy shit, Tarzan.
Pocahontas.
Good shit. Very, very good shit. Very good shit. Man, there's just so many movies on this list, bro. My mind's blown right now. Woo. Woo.
You mentioned the movies just now before I cut you off. You were reading off that list. Well, first of all, Mortal Kombat definitely on my list. Oh, there it is. Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, top.
So my favorite movies from him is Big Daddy, but that came out in 2000s.
No,
but that's my favorite movie.
It came out.
Yeah, I know. But that's my favorite movie of his.
As much as I love it, we can't count it in our special, trilogy episode of the 90s here, but definitely Billy Madison and bro, between Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, which one do you take?
Billy Madison, I like.
For real?
It's a bit goofier, that's why.
Especially when he's like in a tent with his sexy teacher, who's Sonya in
by the way, we got
Mortal Kombat.
By the way, man, I just keep pumping them out, man. We got fucking a Toy Story, which is the theme.
So that was the 90s. I was just thinking about it.
Dude,
I wasn't sure if it was 2000.
This is how smart they are, Disney. They're bringing out Toy Story 4 now. And I have a son, and we're planning a theme party for his first birthday is Toy Story. It came out when I was a kid, when I was 5.
Well, he's 1 now. He's turning 1.
He's 1, and they're still killing it.
So he's basically ahead of the game right now. He's watching it at 1.
He's killing it.
But
bro. There's other movies too. There's one we didn't talk about, which was big, at least for me, because I was like a sci-fi geek, as you know.
Yeah.
Independence Day.
Okay,
that was
Will
a good
Smith.
one.
Yeah.
Pretty much any film from his, like, back then, was
Yeah.
big. But I know that one was his first very big
is
film.
like him basically almost ending the Fresh Prince. It was like the cusp of Fresh Prince.
That was when he said, fuck it, I got to do something a bit better, a bit more serious. But honestly, man, it was alright. But George, come on, He
Ooh.
Got Game, man. You gotta watch He Got Game, bro. Please watch He Got Game.
I will
Download
watch
tonight.
it.
Download as soon as we're done this fucking pod. Go home and watch He Got Game.
I will watch
Do
it.
yourself a favor, man.
I will watch it. Just take
Crazy.
it easy, bro, before I smack
you're
the beard off
crazy,
your face.
bro.
No, I'm just playing. Man, I gotta give a shout out to George because he threw me the best alley oop tonight, and he gave me this vintage FUBU Chicago
FUBU.
Bulls. What's it called? Like a practice starter shirt or whatever.
I don't even know
Not
what
a
it
starter,
is.
but it looked like a practice shirt. You know what I mean? It was one of them practice shirts. Sleeper pick for my movies in the 90s, Dangerous Minds.
I got you.
I love that movie. I watched that as a kid in the 90s. So can you imagine how traumatized I was to see this type of atmosphere of a movie with violence and gun violence and, like delinquent kids in school with Michelle Pfeiffer trying to teach all these,
Yes.
troubled youths,
What's the name of this movie again?
Dangerous Minds.
Oh man.
Where do you think Gangster's Paradise comes from?
Man, that film has some fucked up youths in there, bro.
Hell yeah.
There's some pretty bad youths. Oh yeah.
Waste Men's.
Bro, the Waste Men's youths.
Waste
bro.
Men's
Fight
and
Club
Women's,
was in
man.
there too. That was a late one. That came out in '99. That was a good movie.
But to be honest with you, man, I can't even give you. I'm telling you, I'm not good at giving top fives because every movie is my greatest movie. Mrs. Doubtfire, my best movie, man. Mortal Kombat, my best movie. And you know why I love Mortal Kombat so much right now? Because I recently watched Mortal Kombat in the last, since the new year started, I watched it. I actually watched the two of them.
But part 2,
1 and 2 with Kitana in them.
dude, part 2, people tore it to shred. It was terrible as a movie.
The acting was shit, but
I liked it because of all the characters in it.
exactly.
That's what I liked the first one, but it only had like 8 characters because obviously the game had like 10 characters.
Yeah.
But part 2, they tried to pack that. They even had Ermac, like he's like the red version of Scorpion.
Yeah,
Bro, they
yeah.
just had to fit him in. They're like, fuck it, man. We're gonna put Rain in there too.
It's a dude, I think he shot like a red thing and it just exploded the whole building.
Yeah,
or whatever.
bro, that's him.
Cyrax or whatever. There's Cyrax is Cyrax was there. You know what fucked me over, man, or what I love the most about the movie was that we say the acting was bad. I agree with that, but because they had the characters and the signature moves, like get over here, Sub-Zero freezing shit to death, and then they just die, and then of course you got Goro, then you got Johnny Cage doing the splits, bro.
Also Shiva, bro. We got Shiva in there too.
Bro, I gotta tell you though, Johnny Cage's actual character, his gimmick, like he's such a fuckboy in that movie. Like him being like the cocky, arrogant dude that he is. Like I don't know, like I felt like
that's why they killed them in the opening scene of part 2.
yeah, because they're like, yo, we don't want that
So
cocky shit.
they've been trying to work, like Hollywood has been trying to work out a movie about MK, like a reboot for years.
Yeah.
They finally got a script down, so I hope it gets done. Any MK fan out there, there's a secret thing, man, you gotta hit up. They had a web series. I don't know if you noticed, but on YouTube, George, you can find a web. All y'all who like MK, there's a web series. They did it. It's better than the movies, man. It's better than the video games.
Really?
They did it as a real like action show.
Yeah.
It's nuts, bro.
Does it look amateur though?
No, it looks legit. You gotta watch this MK a web series. You gotta, man.
I'll peep.
Man, peep that and peep the He Got Game as well. Those are your two peeps.
Don't
bro.
flame me because I didn't watch a Jesus Shuttlesworth.
But
and,
this is iconic, bro. You got Ray Allen.
and like the fake Dr. J.
Bang. Ray Allen.
No. Honestly, peace to Denzel though. Denzel, one of the goats. Oh no, Training Day is 01. Never mind. But he did do Malcolm X, but I didn't watch that though. I mean, I'm a kid. You know what I mean? Like and it's not nothing.
Serious for
not even that. It's nothing against that. It's just like I never watched. Pulp Fiction came out, but I didn't watch that till later in life, so I can't really. Yeah. So, anyways, man, we could definitely do like another 6 more episodes, kind of like the way the homie did with the Mortal Kombat series. We could probably do the same thing with just 90s nostalgia.
But I think we covered a lot of ground.
We definitely covered a lot.
Episodes.
We definitely. Do you have any final words, man? You have any final words, bro?
The final words. I'm glad to see this era coming back in our lives. You're seeing a lot of consoles from that time being like reintroduced. Like George said, he bought a Super Nintendo, like a retro.
Classic,
yeah, like a classic. It's good because this was the golden age. This was before like the boom of like the World Wide Web or internet. So people were still talking to each other, playing pogs. Are you kidding? Now at school, kids are on their phone during breaks. They're not playing with each other, schlocky or pogs or all the other shit that us as kids did. I'm glad it's coming back. It was a great time. I can say, regardless of whatever drama shit happened in my family, I had a great childhood because of the 90s.
Facts. Same.
All of the shows, all of the games, all of the food, all of these memories,
All of the clothes, man.
all the clothes, the shoes, the sports, everything took us away from all the bad shit that we had.
Yeah.
Now the thing that's taking away the youth is fucking Instagram, which makes you feel even more bad, even more jealous, even more hatred.
And guess what, man? You just basically you basically segued for our next episode, which we're gonna talk about all that because all that shit has to do, I feel with mental health,
100%.
social media, how it fucks with our brains. So we're definitely going to finish this episode off saying, yo, peace to the 90s. We love you. We'll never forget you. We'll cherish you forever. Our kids are going to remember the 90s because we're going to talk to our kids about the 90s.
Of course.
Your boy Gigi is 1 now, but when he reaches 10 and 11 and 12, I'm telling you, he's going to be like, damn, I wish I was born in the 90s.
This kid is going to smoke his fucking homies in MK. Man,
he's got the head. He's got he's got the leverage. He's got the advantage on everything.
Definitely.
So with that being said, man, thank you so much for tuning in for 3 full episodes.
Thank you for the 90s throwback. Anyone that grew up during that time will love these episodes.
Salute to you, man.
Like, subscribe, share this shit with your friends.
Yeah.
And
yo, salute to your big bro. Salute to my cousins.
Definitely.
And
Mikey, thank you for
man.
the childhood, man. You defined it for me, and I'm super happy. And I know George feels the same about his cousins. In the future, there may be an episode series we do on the 2000s. Not as influential, but still important for us.
Still nostalgic.
Definitely.
It's memorable. All right, man. Well, thank you, George, man. I appreciate you, bro. And with that said, we out.